Time for a love potion, a little sweet and spice. Throw it all in a cauldron, mix it up real nice. Fire in my eyes, stir counterclockwise. I dream of you all night. Feel with emotion, follow the signs. With this love potion, you will be all mine. I'm pulling you closer to me. You're finding it harder to breathe. The magic is taking over your mind entirely. I'm the only one that you see. I got what you want, what you need. Before you know it, you are falling deep in love with me. Little sweet and spice. Made a love potion for you. Little sweet and spice. Made a love potion for you. This is the moment, no turning back. One drop on your lips and the spell will take effect. Under the moonlight, stay close to my side. We're burning so bright. Oh, 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 oh. Feel the emotion, follow the signs. With this love potion, you will be all mine. I'm pulling you closer to me. You're finding it harder to breathe. The magic is taking over your mind entirely. I'm the only one that you see. I got what you want, what you need. Before you know it, you are falling deep in love with me. Little sweet and spice. Made a love potion for you. Hey, yeah. Little sweet and spice. Yeah. Made a love potion for you. Feel the emotion, follow the signs. With this love potion, you will be all mine. Feel the emotion, follow the signs. With this love potion, you will be all mine.
Hello. Welcome guys to another stream. And of course this is going to be what I've billed as episode 2 of the replay review. And just as I've put my webcam on, I've been handed a cup of tea. So how nice is that? Cheers. We actually have a special guest for this stream. And that is going to be the one and only, the Strat Master himself, Spalding. So I'm just gonna give him a call. I've been sent in, and we have 5 replays to review actually. So we'll be getting into those very shortly. Hello, Spalding.
Hello, madam.
How are you doing?
I'm doing fine. How about you?
Yeah, very good. So I've had
Nice.
I've had 5 replays sent in. So I'll share my screen with you, and
Sounds good to me.
we'll get into them. What's thrown me a little bit has been there's been an update on Streamlabs, so I'm just getting used to that at the moment as well. So let me just have a look who we've got here. So we've got Metty against Peter actually. So yeah, a decent game here, and I think this has been sent in by Metty. So
Okay, so we're gonna focus on him.
sure, we'll look at his vision. Let me just check everything else is okay. Chat's fine. Alrighty, I think everything's okay. Daniel says you need another replay. We'll see how we get on. Okay, so let's have a look at this from the point of view of Metty. Now, would it be worth, just before we crack on here, shall I remove this, do you know how to remove this bit on the side, or is that always there when we're viewing from a point of view?
Maybe press insert
Insert, yeah.
and then replay observer.
Replay observer, where's that?
It's pretty far down. The port
Ah,
one,
yeah.
Bottom.
And maybe that one looks good
Sure.
rather than that. Yeah.
Wait, Okay, yeah, seems good.
Seems good. Alright, let's resume. So this is demo against Imp from Blasted Lands.
I will work.
I will trust you on the map.
I will work.
I mean, as maps go, wouldn't you say this favours the GLA?
I will work.
Quite bunkery, especially if you're demo.
Yeah, I would say so, but I feel like demo is probably the weakest GLA against infantry.
Okay.
What do you think?
I will,
I feel like Tox and Stealth are probably harder.
I don't know. I
I
mean,
will work.
Stealth doesn't have a great late game, does it? Like, it doesn't have scud
Yeah, the
launchers.
late game's not great,
The
I agree.
demo late game is insanely good. But I agree, like, you have the pricey
I will work.
quads. I don't know how much TT is like a meta in this matchup, because Imp has the mined bunkers and can mine quite a few buildings without, like, stalling their push necessarily.
Right.
But we see Metty getting like a decent map coverage here, so he's got tunnel in the middle and tunnel on each flank. I think that's good.
Right, delaying the tunnel at his unsafe, which seems reasonable to me. Hard for Inf to access that in the early game.
Finished with the building.
And a minigunner shutting down that terrorist. I mean, when you see a minigunner like that, you still don't know if you're getting helixed or not.
Of work.
Yeah,
be a
could
bit
be
of a-
anything at
yeah.
this point.
Bit of a worry.
He's a little bit late with his technical. Could have gone through the middle, right? And gotten rid of that minigunner.
True, I guess he didn't know whether it would be bunkered, but that flank is already bunkered off actually. And there's actually nothing in that bunker, so he doesn't need to delay that tech. Maybe a small mistake there. But he actually detonated
A nice
the
move
mines.
by him.
Yeah, that was nice. Oh, and it is Elix. So there you go.
This is already going to be kind of tricky now.
Yeah.
If Peter just evacs in front of the arms dealer. Ooh.
I mean, from
So-
my point of view, if you're GLA and the Inf goes Licks, as GLA it should be a free win for you. If you identify it and you're well prepared at home. I have the feeling like he delayed making his second unit. I mean, we can maybe confirm that and just check the money and watch it again. But he only had 2 quads out when the Licks was in his base, and I think it's possible for you to have 3 out. And if you have 3 quads and some RPGs, the Licks just instantly dies.
Right. And I think that's also where like being a little bit slow with the first technical comes in. Because
Yeah.
that first technical should give you the
Yeah.
necessary clouding information. China has to react to it in some way.
Our homes are in peril.
I mean, he is doing what he can. I mean, the base will be quite exposed when the Licks is running across the map, so he has hurt the second supply of Peter here.
Building construction has been completed.
Does
And
he have
actually-
the middle supply, Metty? The one on the left side?
Let's have a look.
It looks like it on
He
the
does,
middle map.
so
yeah.
that's
Okay.
decent. Has control of this area. And Peter was delaying a bit really here. Has allowed...
Can you click on the minigun up? Because I feel like it's kind of important to... Okay, so he's probably got the oil, Peter.
Yeah. We can have a look at that. Yeah, he already has it.
Alright.
So even though Peter's lost his second supply, I don't think he's he's that worried. Has managed to get a super tech here, which is always nice.
Agree?
I mean, you're not scared at this point here when there's only 2 tank hunters here. You're not actually scared of like losing your base. If it was me, maybe I would try and go and get the other dozer or do a bit more damage in Peter's base. I know there was the damage helix flying around, but I mean, if you hunt the Imp and he's on 1 supply, I think you feel like you're in a pretty good position.
I'd agree. He's doing a good job picking off these tank hunters. Probably wants to get his main supply back.
Yeah, and quite a few workers on that second supply, but I guess they are from his main that got killed. There does seem to be a lot of supplies there.
So I think Metty could probably look to capture the oils now. Like, the one in the bottom right and the middle should probably belong to him pretty soon.
Oh, this is Handy
It is.
for the dozer to just walk straight into your path. And he's gunning that war factory down as well.
Do you agree with that? I guess there's nothing nearby right now.
I think so. If you think you've hunted your opponent and you get the war factory,
Oh, it was the second dozer hunted already?
I think so. We can.
Okay.
We can.
Did the one on the left side die when he got in early? I guess so. Okay, I mean,
No, it didn't actually.
yeah, that's what I was thinking. So I thought there might be more units nearby, so I probably would have just gone for the trucks instead.
Yeah.
In that situation, it worked out for him because there was nothing nearby. But I feel like it's a bad situation if you just manage to damage the war factory and then have to retreat. But it worked out for him, so.
Yeah, it worked out. Okay, we'll continue.
The warrior has fallen.
I do think he's a little bit late in retaking his main supply, Metty, that is.
Yeah, I was just thinking, especially with the amount of quads he's got.
As well as capturing the oil, I think.
Well, we don't know the outcome of this game, but at this moment here, Metty's got... He did just have 4k in the bank. Now, he could have easily thrown down a supply here, which you would suggest is relatively safe, because you got the bunker coverage and the tunnel. Agreed, he was a bit late getting that, but he's still on 2 supplies.
Yeah, it's not looking bad for him. I just think this is the point in time when he could puddle really far ahead, because what can infantry really do to contest the map control right now? He lost his helix.
Yeah.
You killed his war factory, so Inf is kind of stuck on the 2 supplies.
Yeah. And was that a second arms dealer there? I didn't catch that, or was that a palace? It's a palace. Okay. I mean, as demo, if you get the palace tech going, I think you feel pretty good.
Probably like to see. Oh, so Peter ended up capturing that oil.
That feels bad, and he actually hasn't killed that oil for some reason. Maybe he's hesitated.
He might be looking to capture.
Yeah, yeah. Or he saw the licks, and I think is he going to kill that licks?
Our base is in peril.
I think he is. No, he didn't pop there. Ooh,
I am finished with the
could have killed that licks.
I would also like to see another tunnel in the middle, probably by Metty, near the oil.
Yeah, just secure your position. When you have a good position, just secure it. Does eventually clear that oil.
Yeah, and I think instead of destroying the oil, I would have liked to see him capture both oils, the middle one and the bottom right. He probably thinks he can just end the game right now, which is, I guess, fair enough.
I mean, it's one of those. I think the mistake a lot of players make is they make the decision too late. Either kill it instantly, or as you say, capture it. I think killing it late is like the worst thing you can do. I mean, if you kill it instantly and you're on full supplies, like with the 2 middle supplies, you still feel pretty good, right?
I agree. He doesn't need the oil, I just think.
Yeah.
It's probably better for him to capture it.
Don't like this engage either.
Right. You're not in a position where you need to attack right now.
No.
Just looking at the minimap, just take 4 supplies and the inf will have to attack into you at some point.
I think that was a massive mistake, because he literally just chased it to... Well, he was chasing 2 outposts there. And what did he have? Like 7 quads, and he's lost 5 of them? For free, pretty much? I mean, okay,
and you're also giving a lot of XP to the infantry that way.
Yeah.
He's close to level 3 right now.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, same for the middle oil. If your intention is to just destroy the oils and not get the capture upgrade, might as well kill it, right?
Well, what you will see from some players, they will preemptively kill an oil even if it's uncaptured, if they think they can't hold the position. And I think that is a good decision. Like, if you're... Like, from what he's seen now, he's just wasted his whole army. And the imp has a sizable army. I think a good choice now would to be pop in the middle and just start gunning down that oil.
Agree. At this point, probably gun it down. I think earlier could have captured it.
Yeah.
I like the one RPG just for the vision.
Yeah, gives you a notification as
underrated.
well if you're not paying attention. Your
Also,
unit dies.
so he is going for the capture upgrade.
Right.
That makes it really questionable, I think, to kill the bottom right oil.
Yeah.
Didn't he have enough in his tunnel to...
Ah, look at that. He actually loses that position. Well, that was your point about the multiple
Well, a
tunnels,
second
wasn't
tunnel
it?
as well. Yeah.
I mean, I am, as you know, a right lame sausage. And I would have put about 5 tunnels there in a line.
Yeah, exactly, because if you keep the middle, it allows you access to all sides of the map as well.
And a helix can't do that. I mean, if there's like multiple tunnels here, the helix can't do what he just did, because you could pop a few units here, the Lix is drawn to that, pop a few more here, and you probably just gun the Lix down. So yeah, that is quite unfortunate. Does have his palace though, and does have Jarmen Kell.
Did he get a black market?
Did he get a black market?
Kell has been seen by the enemy.
He is
Okay, he's
building
getting one. That's
Yeah.
good.
Just to answer chat, so as we analyse these replays, we are focusing more on the player that's actually sent the replay in. I think it's better that way. You agree as well, don't you, Spalding, that it's better to look at
I agree,
it
it's
from...
also very easy to get influenced by having full vision over everything. It's
Yeah,
very easy
because
to
we
be-
can easily be like, oh my god, what is Metty doing here? But if he doesn't
Yeah, what
actually
is
see
he
it
building
coming...
technicals? When you see the other guy go for a helix, it's very easy to
Yeah.
question that, but maybe he didn't have vision of his helix.
Yeah, exactly. So that's just to answer chat there. Why we're doing it that way round. But what that does mean is it requires me to remember who's actually sent them in, so
That's true.
that is an extra challenge.
It's usually the guy I think the replay starts on.
Okay, well, that's useful to know.
Complete. A warrior has fallen.
Yeah, and here's that level 3 we were talking about as well from Peter. He's now hit it.
Right.
Thank you for the new shoes.
And that
So it
does...
should have probably
yeah,
never ended in a scenario where the infantry has the middle oil
no,
after the start.
definitely not.
Warrior has fallen. Full throttle.
Now
Yeah,
the risk of
Logica-
losing the tunnel on the left side as well.
Yeah, he's losing that position as well. Logica said as well, biggest issue here was the lack of tunnels, because once you get demo upgrade, it should be GG.
Full throttle.
Yeah. But if you lose
I
the
think
whole
MP
map...
bullets is also a massive upgrade in this matchup.
Yeah. But if you lose the whole map, then it gets dicey, of course, even if you are teched as demo.
Warrior has fallen.
To be fair, if I just pause it here, you know when that technical went in the base and we were questioning where's the other dozer? It worked out good because he killed the war factory. If you paused it there, I actually think that was a winning position from Metty. Killing the war factory, Peter only having like a couple of outposts.
Oh yeah, I
Like-
feel like the game should have been unlosable
Yeah.
almost at that point.
Agreed.
I am finished with the building.
That being said, nice comeback so far by Peter.
Our work is complete.
Hepsi says I'm showing my age wearing glasses. To be fair, I've been a blind little git since I was 5. I'm very short-sighted. Very short-sighted. I had contact lenses in the other stream. I wear contact lenses a lot for sport and stuff. Well, he is killing that oil with Demo Jarmen, so at least use that opportunity to get it. But as you say, he had no need to be in that situation in the first place.
Our work is complete.
Ooh, Lotus in the base. Oh, that was cute.
Nice move there by Metty.
Yeah,
Did he lost his arm still on the left, right? Yeah, he did.
yeah.
I will work.
Yeah, now it's not looking great, is it? I mean, he has one supply
Our work is complete.
Yeah, he
in
does.
the middle,
Our
but
work is complete.
It's a bit awkward with the supply placement, but I think it's actually worth it to get a second supply on the right side.
Building construction has been completed.
he's throwing down a few markets. I'm just curious. Okay, he does have 3 tunnels here. But when you've seen Elix flying around, I mean, if it was me as well, I'd probably add 1 stinger.
Right. I mean, it's good against both the helixes and the outposts.
Yeah, and you never know. Like the inf might be transitioning to MiGs, and it just makes it more annoying for the inf to add like a stinger like about there. It's probably where I'd add it. Oh, just as I say that, Daniel says stinger sights are amazing. Seem to be underused. Yep. Just from the imp's point of view, I like what Peter's doing there, throwing down a bunker. They're like amazing as imp, aren't they, to get those bunkers up?
I agree. Roll saying this is the weirdest matchup he ever saw on this map. I'm not sure what he means by that, but
that's our roll, Habibi. He's confused.
I think Metty should get the fortified structures upgrade when you know that your opponent's level 3.
Yeah. Ooh, okay, I think he did cancel that scaffold in the end. But yeah, 100% right. I mean, you're a lot safer against the general powers with fortified structure. And Metty is in the chat. He has just joined the chat, so he will be able to rewind back and see our earlier comments.
Full throttle. Our work is complete.
I mean, he's really dropping the markets. And there, what you were saying about the double supply, Peter is actually doing as well. He's thrown down the 2 supplies on the left side.
Yeah, that's a good move. Does he have AP bullets? I just feel like it's such an important upgrade in this matchup.
He does actually. He does have AP bullets, yeah.
Good.
I mean, we've not watched any of the replays sent in. We're watching them for the first time, but I feel like if Metty loses this position on the right side, that could almost be game over for him. Ooh. And that engage wasn't great, was it?
Certainly not. What do you think about Scud launchers? I feel like they're really good actually in that matchup, especially once you see Infernal cans.
I think, yeah, Scud launchers. I think the way he used the bike quad, so if I just get back to this area here. So what we saw a little bit was like demo bikes going in on their own, single file. They did nothing. Then all the quads popped and then just got wrecked by the Infernos. I would have preferred to combine all that. I think with what he had, AP bullet quads, demo bikes and a Jarman, you can actually beat that army if you use it correctly. So if you get your quads out in a line, fight with the tunnel, get Jarman, don't put your Jarman with the quad blob, because if the Inferno goes off there, he just instantly dies like we saw. But I'd probably start the engagement with the quads first, and then get the bikes in from the side. And if you get a couple of jackpot hits with the bike, I mean, you hold, because the Jarman can just clear the rest up, so...
I think it's also often better to wait until you have a few bikes instead of sending them in single file, especially once your opponent has these CMs.
It's so tempting when you see the push to be like, oh my god, bike, get over there, but it is better to have like multiple bikes at a time, for sure. Ooh, my Siri is picking up my voice. Actually, I'm going to take my watch off. Siri's going mad here. Apple Watch. Okay, let's continue. Yeah, and the fact that he's not hit level 3 just yet, I think, is massive. I mean, a little bit better usage of units, and he could have had an ambush and a cash bounty, and I mean, the ambush on that army as well. But what is happening is what we said mustn't happen, and he is losing that position. Chat says as well there's a bit of a float going on at times. Yeah, there is a float going on. Another question in the chat. When we're on spectator mode, can we tell if the player's macro is decent or it requires some work or tips? What would you say on Metty's macro so far? I mean, we've seen floats basically at different crucial stages of the game, haven't we? You made the comment about the retaking of the first supply. Then there was the delay with the oil choice. What would you say, that the macro needs a little bit of work?
Yeah, I mean, both players aren't like floating crazy amounts for most of the game, but I agree there was a bit of lack of planning ahead by Metty. I think you got to realize that you need to retake your main supply anyway, so I feel like a worker should go over there a bit quicker. Also, the bottom right oil clearly belongs to you on this map, so might as well get the capture upgrade and take that one back. And like you said, I think a few more tunnels in key locations
massive.
are pretty important.
Yeah, it feels bad killing your own oil, to be fair. And this is, as maps go, as safer oil as you can get, right?
Right.
To have it literally on
you
your
can
side,
say once you lose control of that oil, you probably lost the game anyway, so...
Definitely. Hola Rengo, amigo. How you doing? Como está?
That was a lot of work.
I mean, still a decent market count, though, at this point. How many crates are actually over here? So 4 full crates is what he's surrendered, basically.
Do we see any hackers by Pina?
I know that's something you are desperate to see, so let's have a look.
Nice guy.
I've not noticed any, no.
Perfect. Alright, so there's a big push now coming on the right side.
Yeah. Ah, that CC though. That CC is so late, because if he gets level 3, he probably holds this push as well. But this push could potentially do so much damage before that CC gets up. Oh wow. Metty in chat says he normally floats 10k, so this is an improvement.
Fair enough. So again, like, I just think Scud launchers are so powerful against that army.
Yeah.
You have AP bullets to deal with mix and helixes, so how can infantry really deal with Scud launchers?
I mean, Inf shouldn't be able to deal with demo late game. I mean, you mentioned Scud launchers, but you got so many options. You got mobs, you got demo bikes, the ambush you should have by now, Jarman. I mean, Inf at that if the GLA has that much, the Inf just needs to bunker and possibly use MiGs well and go from there, because it's so difficult.
Yeah, Angry mobs I think are also pretty underrated. Like it's probably the only way or the easiest way you have to break through the left side.
You don't even have to do anything with them, just A-move them.
Yep.
Don't even look at them, just A-move them.
And that's great because it requires so much more attention by your opponent to deal with them than it does for you to just A-move them.
So we see the ambush has just gone in here, but once again he's not combining. He used his Jarman on its own and got it firestormed down. Then he uses the ambush. Again, why not combine everything? Imagine the ambush, the Jarman there picking off all the units, the quads to do this. I just think there's 2 engagements, well 3 if you count the push in the base when he was way ahead. 3 engagements that have pretty much cost him the game here, with the lack of tunnels, as you say. It probably doesn't even matter that you floated in that situation. If you just get the engagements right, I think you win this game.
Right. I think strategically the worst one was the top right engagement.
100%.
There was absolutely no need to engage when you have the whole map.
Yeah. I do like the cute worker detonation though. So that is GG. Yeah. That is GG.
So I guess one word of advice to Metty is it's oftentimes better to get further ahead in RTS games than it is to like rush to close out the game. Especially when your army scales better than your opponent's army.
I think
Just keep expanding, keep getting more income, tech up, and your opponent's gonna be forced to attack into you.
I think the better the opponent as well, the more that's important. Because the amount of times we've seen Size looking like he's in an absolute dire situation and then somehow manages to come back because of making good decisions, taking good engagements. So yeah.
Okay, Metty said he had to use the charm to get level 3, so yeah, that's a fair point.
True. No, I'm not playing Size today, Rengo, but I am in a best of 51 against Size on Sunday. No, I'm joking. It's a best of 15. Okay, so we have some interesting players here. We have my stunt double, Exile. And
nice.
He's the guy that sent this in, so we'll have a look from the Toxing point of view here. Against the one and only Rage. So that's going to be very interesting. So two pretty high level replays, I would say, so far.
Yeah, that's nice.
So Tox USA, okay. Definitely a matchup that you want to be good in. Both ways. Logica says, what are those Logica replays? That's a good point, actually. We can have a look at those if you want. Stop watching my replays, madame. Well, I remember when I first came back and you were bashing me in our practice games, I definitely saved a few, and maybe I didn't delete them, so it could be those. It could well be those.
I will work.
Ooh, a little bit of indecision with this worker here. He was going backwards, forwards, and sideways.
Getting the towers is nice to stop early doser drops.
Yeah, I think that is it's just meta now, isn't it? You've got a rally terrorist to each supply so you don't die to a dozer drop.
Yep.
And speaking of dozer drop, on the minimap there does look like there's one coming from Rage. Yeah, that's gonna hurt. Now, why is that terrorist late? Did he not go barracks first? That terrorist is late over there. I think it's the placement. I mean, the barracks was a bit late. Did you know as well that it's actually slower to build a fake barracks? Did you know that compared to a real one?
I thought it would be the same speed if you upgraded it immediately, but because there's a bit of delay,
Yeah.
when upgrading it might be slightly slower.
Just by human errors, in terms of, as you say, the delay, it's actually very slightly slower. So I make a real barracks, I don't make a fake one. Everyone seems to make a fake one, but I know Size doesn't make a fake one either. But yeah, maybe he was late upgrading it, I don't know. And why not place it like in the middle so that you can get your terrorists to each side in time? I mean,
Yeah, I was also thinking, I'm probably not a fan of the way he positioned his war factory. Boxing in one side, I feel like it hurts you more than it helps you against USA.
Yeah.
Also, if there's like an ambulance coming or something, you can only run away one side then.
That's true. Yeah. Yeah, you're actually building a wall for the dozer or whatever to crush your workers up against. You can't actually get out.
I'll make this sacrifice.
Yeah. I just think that barracks was late and I don't like the positioning of it.
That was a lot of
Because if you get the barracks placement right, dozer drop should not do any damage, really.
I will work.
Yep.
I will work. I'll make this sacrifice. I will work.
Yeah, but this hurts.
I will work.
That's gonna be 3 workers, I guess. 1,
That was a lot of work.
2, okay, 2 workers.
Was a good force fire on the terrorists.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty painful to lose these early workers. It's not just the immediate amount you lose in terms of money, but also the collection you lose out on.
Yeah. For sure. And then the Chinook as well is just
People are like, oh, you lost 2 or 3 workers, so that's only 4 to 600, but it doesn't work like that. Effectively, you lose a lot more than that.
Yeah. Yeah. And I don't know if he's late rebuilding them or what, but we only literally see 2 workers there as well. Okay, he is rebuilding them. But I think you got to rebuild them instantly. I don't know why there's only 2 workers there. Still, I mean, he's not
Coming out now.
Yeah, he's not up to efficient mining as of yet. And Rage looks like he's doing more harass. That was pretty
That
painful
didn't
for
pay
Rage.
up
No.
for Rage at all. There was a Hellfire one on it too.
So that was what? 1200 invest for 2 workers?
Yeah, he's some sort of normal USA, right? Not super weapon or anything.
Yeah, VUSA, yeah.
Okay, yeah, so 700
not
is
great.
500.
Ooh. Well, he got the supply. Didn't have to lose the tech, but you know that can happen to anyone.
Yep. I think as Toxin you also want to look for spots on the map to abuse, and I feel like in the top left, near Wage's second supply, there's this building here that I think you want to try to take yourself.
I mean, as Tox, that ought to be disgusting.
Right, I feel like that's something you just need to plan around on this map.
If Rage even took it, bring a Tox Rebel. That is the advantage of Tox. And you get a tunnel, start building a tunnel there, the USA's got to panic, and he's been like, oh my god, I got to stop that.
Yeah, because once the tunnel gets up, you're effectively on one supply.
Yeah, yeah.
So I would have liked to see Exile try to take advantage of that building.
Maybe we're going to see that
Looks like he does it now, yeah. But yeah, I feel like just bringing one worker and building a tunnel there adds so much pressure to the USA.
And he's kind of like, he's TT'd that supply, which he's now follow-up harassing with the RPG, and it looks like Rage hasn't even rebuilt it yet. Why not try and TT the other supply, and then screw that one with the RPGs? Because at the moment, Rage could just build up like 4Vs and walk across the map and win the game. We'll see what happens.
Right. So yeah, if you brought a worker on the left side, the tunnel would have definitely gotten up. And especially if you go quads, I think it's even more important to get a close tunnel up.
We saw a tech die in the main base, and Rage looked like he has a sizable army, to be honest. I agree with you. I think a lot of players don't play the map, and getting a tunnel there and just make one quad actually and just park it there and say good luck, have fun clearing that.
Right. And because of that, it's kind of interesting whether USA should just focus on killing that building early on when you have time to.
Yeah. Wild High says, what are you guys doing? We are replay reviewing, so we have 5 replays that have been sent in, and we're both on limited time a little bit today, so we'll do those 5 replays in this stream and just try and point out some things that are going wrong, basically. That's the aim of the game. But here is this Rage V-push we were talking about, and with someone as good as Rage, I was going to say his micro is probably good enough to win from here.
Slightly cornered himself though, which...
Yeah, it's not the worst engage for Exile actually.
And I really feel like Toxin Rebels are very underrated. I think you should add them just manually to some of your technicals. Also for these situations, like in the bottom of Exile space now, where Rage was forced to evacuate and then he just has a few MDs standing around laser locking.
Just clear all that up, yeah. But it even hurts, look, clearing these up, loses another tech. And Rage doesn't seem to care about that second supply. I mean, okay, he's actually moved Chinooks there now. But yeah, Exile has 1 tech at the moment.
Yeah, this is not looking good for Exile.
It's not looking good.
Our homes are in peril. Bolted down and ready. Our work is complete.
Bring back Twilight Flame games. Well, funny you mentioned that, because tomorrow at 17:30 GMT there is a Twilight Flame challenge on Legionnaire stream. And it's going to be OOE against Size, Seri and Humanity, so check that out.
I will work. Bolted down and ready.
So, I just don't think Rage should be able to mine from the top left supply.
No.
I think that's the big issue for
Not,
Exile here.
Not when he's had that position for, what, like 4 minutes, hasn't he?
Right, just park 1 quad there.
Yeah. Finally does get a tunnel up. And now this is causing Rage to deal with it. But, I mean, this is the power of
you can't
Tox.
really deal with it that way.
No. Needs to be getting back in the bunker, though. He didn't seem to be doing that. That's actually cost Rage a lot. I mean, imagine, as you say, if that had happened in the first 3 minutes, how much more effective that would be.
Right.
I am finished with the building. The warning is falling.
Again, another example where like one Toxic Rebel does such a good job when he has just 5 MD standing there, unloaded.
I am finished.
I think the lack of one quad is massive as well, because the lack of like the one quad can just sit behind this bunker or tunnel and just Rage can't mine, as you say.
Upgrade complete.
I mean, we said it in the last matchup. You could even build a stinger there if you don't want to make a quad. But
Right. Yeah, he's popping a quad on the right side.
Bolted down and ready.
he's going to be getting the oil now, so you could almost be preemptively adding that second arms dealer, right? This is
Again,
a situation.
I think
yeah.
just the 3 crates there. Is it 2 or 3 crates at Exile's bottom right supply?
There are 3 there actually.
Yeah, I think again that's worth building an extra supply for.
The only question is, can you get a decent angle or an efficient angle? I guess you can.
Yeah,
if you
I
build
think
it
that's
there.
close enough.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Bolted down and ready.
I mean, you can argue you can mine there later when your main supply is mined out, but it's always better to have the money earlier in strategy games.
Yep.
Upgrade complete. Bolted down and ready.
I mean, Rage has taken quite a few losses here, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Building construction has been completed. Bolted down and ready.
Third supply being established and has the oil. So at one point it was looking pretty grim, but it's looking a bit better again. But I guess it depends, what does Rage actually have? We're about to see what Rage has. 5 Vs and an Ambo.
Building construction has been completed.
Guess this is going to come down to the engagement, and I'm not. Yeah, I was going to say probably not best to engage there when you're so bunched up like that with those techs.
Right. I like that move by Exile. I'm not sure if he's bringing a worker with this, but
Finished with the building.
when you see the whole army by Rage on the right side, you probably want to try to stop Rage from mining in the top left.
And picks off 2 Vs and I think an Ambo there. Hasn't killed the Ambo yet. Is going to now. Yeah, so that was decent.
Yeah, I would like to see him bring workers with these attacks. I think it adds so much pressure to the USA if you see a tunnel going up there.
And
Because you know, if you don't immediately deal with it, Tox will always have a close point to reinforce and stop you from mining.
Plus, when you're USA, if you don't have search and destroy, you can't just gun down a Tox tunnel and not look at it because you will lose a V. So it just adds to the pressure and the micro of the USA player.
Our homes are in peril. That was a lot of work.
Roll is asking
Is falling.
what you should get first, or is a third supply. I think normally a third supply just gives you more income than oil.
I think there's only a few maps where you would potentially pick oil over third supply.
Right.
Yeah. Obvious answer. Oil heavy maps. So,
Yep.
just in case. One question I have for you, when you reach this stage as GLA, so you've just got your palace, you've got say 4k in the bank, which Exile had 5k in the bank. You're on your 2 arms dealers. What is the priority? Would you prioritize a Jarman? Would you prioritize buggies?
I think it depends a bit on how the game went. Like there was a lot of trading. So as you can see, like Wage is already level 3, which makes the charm slightly less good than normally.
Yeah.
I think if there has been less trading and USA isn't level 3 yet, the charm can be really nice, especially against small Humvee numbers. But I think right now, yeah, getting the buggy ammo is pretty important.
So the black market, which is being thrown down here.
I think a lot of the times you might even want to delay the worker shoes until you have that upgrade, just because of how important it is.
I agree. Depending on if I'm under pressure or not, I'll actually rush buggy
If you
ammo.
can afford to,
Yeah.
you would like to get the worker shoes first. But
Whereas if I'm chilling, it's just like worker shoes and whatever. Yeah.
I agree. Like, I don't think the gamma upgrade is actually that important.
Nope.
People might disagree, but I think it's more important against like China and stuff, because USA at that point often has search and destroy and is not directly engaging into the tunnels, and you're not rushing for an ambush either. So I would rather get better buggies first, because they actually allow you to deal with the Humvees.
I actually think the best person I've seen use a GLA late game composition against USA is Logica, where he gets that critical buggy mass plus Jarman in a bus.
Yeah.
That is absolutely disgusting to deal with, because if you
Agreed.
evac the MDs, the Jarman in the bus just screws them. And yeah, it's just horrible to deal with. Really just horrible.
It is hard to micro sometimes, because you probably need like a separate control group for your buggies, and then also need to make sure your bus doesn't get too far ahead. But I agree, if properly microed, it's really powerful.
Logica was in the chat. I don't know, what do you do, Logica? Do you do multiple control groups for that combination? I'm pretty sure the answer is yes, but we can get the 100% confirmation of that. Tala says, Gamma upgrade increases buggy damage, bro.
Yeah, it does, but not nearly as much as like having just more rockets available to your buggies.
Thank you for the new shoes.
Yeah, I'd rather have, I mean, how many more volleys does it give? I don't know, but I'd rather have the buggy ammo, for sure. Logica says, in and out. How do you do it, Logica? What are your control groups for your bus, Shaman, buggy comp?
I mean, I'm not saying Gamma is useless, it's just not a high priority in my opinion, compared to a Charm if they are not level 3 or the buggy ammo.
Yeah.
A warrior has fallen.
But of course, versus any other faction, China's or whatever, Tox or even GLA mirrors, Gamma Tox buses are absolutely disgusting.
Right. And I mean, even in this matchup, they can be used to great effect. Sometimes just flanking one when USA has their army grouped up can be nice. Just killing a few Chinooks, killing a few buildings.
Daniel says Gamma doesn't affect buggies. Does it affect buggies or not? The Gamma upgrade.
That one I am not sure about. I know it decreases the RPG damage, and
Yeah, it decreases RPG damage. Or increases
wait,
RPG.
it decreases? It increases.
Increases, yeah. I thought you said decreases.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
My bad.
Search and destroy.
Someone who would know 100% is Jundi on that one. Oh, Firearm even says, no, Gamma upgrade doesn't affect buggy. I've checked the code and tested, it doesn't affect.
Okay.
I will work.
Logica says, 5 is Jarman, 4 is buggy, 3 is quads.
I will work.
And bus plus quad on control group 3.
Building construction has been completed.
I mean,
It's
even
not-
here, Exile's got his buggies up though. So controlled well, you're still not in the worst possible position here. Doesn't have fortified structure though.
Right.
I think again, like we said with the China general powers, when you know the USA's promoted, you want to get that fortified structure. Tyler's convinced Gamma upgrade affects buggies, but you've got others in chat who dispute that. Well, speaking of Gamma upgrade, that is actually one thing here which it is great for, and that's using your Tox ambush.
Definitely.
That would have really comboed. But I think this terrain engagement here might turn out not good. We'll continue.
Well, it's nice for now, but he needs to go back a little bit earlier. Exile.
We lost like 3 buggies there.
A warrior has fallen. I will work.
A pretty big re-army now coming to Exile.
I will work.
Yeah, it's getting dicey, that's for sure. But I think Rage is like, this is his last push potentially, because he's not really been on the middle supplies at all.
And I actually don't like the position Rage is attacking. Like that supply is mined out already.
Yeah, and then
Like there's more important points to contest.
Exile sort of gave away buggies there. Yeah, I don't like these losing buggies.
I think this is kind of bad by both of them.
Yeah.
Like Exile needs to be more careful with his buggies. Like there's no immediate pressure for him to hold that position.
Nope.
There's 2 crates left, so just really try to preserve your buggies because they might be like your last ones for a while.
And you could use the sacking of that position, as you say. Rage is killing an area which ultimately doesn't matter to Exile. Use that attack to like get your buggies on the side and pick off a few Vs that way, rather than like popping in front of the Vs and losing your buggies.
I like the move by Exile now, like just sending those 2 quads in the top left.
That's a size-esque move, that is. Whilst you're getting rammed in one area, a little cheeky poke down the flank.
Yep.
But I think Rage is going to close the game out here because he's going to get on top of the production. Let's see. No, he's just about managing to hold. And those quads, there's actually 16k left on that Rage second supply. The question is, does Rage mine from here? No, he's not mining anywhere actually at the moment.
Our base is in peril. Building construction has been completed. Our work is complete.
Yeah, Ram says Exile is floating a lot at this stage when it's this tight. To have 7k in the bank is a bit unfortunate.
Yeah, he did lose his arm stealers though, so
It's like
kind of hard for him to spend his money.
Yeah. But prior to that moment where he did lose his arm sealers, I think at that point he still had like 4 or 5k in the bank. And when you know like the last push is coming, I don't know, just spend your money, throw down more tunnels, throw down a stinger. I know for me, like extra tunnels and stingers are like my, if I know I'm getting attacked, they're my go-to money dump, if that makes sense. If it's like, okay, I don't know what to spend my money on, just throw down a tunnel and a stinger. Logic of being cheeky, at least he dies rich.
I will work.
Yeah, I mean at this point Rage is probably mining from the right side, I would assume. So not looking great. One move I really like by Exile, not sure if it's intentional or not, is the position of the TT. I think there's a good chance it blocks the A10
Yeah.
from killing the oil.
But yeah, Rage can gradually pick him off at will here when he's can mine from those crates on the right. He had 16k on the left supply as well.
Right, there's only 1 buggy now,
Yeah.
so not much to stop these Humvees.
I guess the Tox ambush must be pretty close. He used it quite a while ago. Maybe he's hanging out for that.
Building construction has been completed. Our homes are in peril.
To be fair though, I think on multiple moments this was Exile's game.
Yeah, which is kind of surprising given that he didn't have a great start.
Yeah.
You have been
But at the same time, and we know he's, you know, a little bit inactive at the moment, Rage made a few mistakes as well, didn't he? The loss of the first V push. The
Yeah,
initial
you saw the money
engagement.
discrepancy at the end as well.
Yeah,
I think
yeah.
Exile collected like 20k more. So yeah, I think adding a battle bus with the Charm would be nice for Exile. Trying to abuse the top left building
Yeah,
a bit more, sending a few quads there.
sure. Alright, but again, another good game there, actually. Very nice game.
Yep.
Yeah, Logica says GLA should always mass tunnels. So this is a Rosa as Vanilla China against Tox from
Rough
Rapture.
matchup.
Yeah, I think this has been. I'm pretty sure this has been sent in by a Rosa. So we'll focus on the China vision here.
Yeah, Adam's saying why don't players send a few buses with the sniper to USA base? Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at. Like,
Building a Chinese
sometimes I think that's a really good move.
Yeah.
They kill buildings so quickly that USA is forced to deal with it. Can't just ignore
construction
constant buses chipping away at your base.
No, definitely not.
Also, maybe try to tech tear this to HE Center. I feel like that's a huge win if you get it.
Yeah. Yeah, a real 2-for-1. You get the strat and the XP and the expense it costs the USA, but you make engaging the army so much easier as well.
Yep.
Casual truck crush going on here. And
Manages
the
to
tunnel
get
is
the
denied.
worker.
So this is a topic at the moment about workers in a tunnel.
Yep.
Sometimes they can appear in the middle like that, but the difference is that is crushable. So if you dance around a bit with the truck, that's crushable. Whereas double scaffold abuse is not crushable. So that is the difference. Oh, a double truck crush. Thoughts on that? I tend to only go with the one.
So I tend to only go with one as well, but I don't mind it being vanilla China, just because I think you're at a really big disadvantage. So trying to be a bit cheesy in the early game, trying to gain an advantage,
Yeah.
I think is okay. Because I always feel like if the game plays out totally normally, you can't win.
True.
So might as well go for something like that, or like, I don't know, a dragon tank drop.
This second truck actually made the Tox pull their workers there.
Let's pick up some goods.
Just a small thing I'd have done here.
Might have just settled for the RPGs.
I would have as well, 100%. I was just about to say, this is going to die anyway. Ram those RPGs and hope the Tox tunnel kills it, so you don't even have to worry about scrap deny. Yeah. Ooh,
This could be huge.
It could be. But having said that, that truck is no. So what? Oh, I'm gonna pause it. So I'd have got here. Would you have got here?
Right, and then flame
And
wall.
then flame walled, yeah. Ah, that could have been the game there.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunate. Ah, and now when those quads get double scrapped and you're adding elixirs. I also disagree with the size here, don't you? The keep CC.
You're not at the luxury of keeping your CC, I think, against Toxic
Yeah.
as vanilla China.
Mhm.
It's hard enough as it is, I think.
Keep CC, send all your trucks out. You're definitely not off to the best eco start yourself, but
It is very hot in here.
yeah, it's going to get dicey now because it looks like those two quads and maybe some RPGs are pushing.
Building is complete.
Yeah, here come those quads. I think that was a bit of a desperate move. Like, you've got some units coming.
Yep.
I think you've just got to dance around a bit and not just lose your gap for free. Maybe
Agree.
she was worried
I think this
about...
is where people panic a bit too
Yeah.
much in these situations and they throw away units one by one.
Would you have cancelled that, or would you have just rallied it over here,
Make it worth my
knowing that the quads are on top of it? Could have maybe
Given how
rallied
close they were, you could even argue to just get mines first.
Mm-hmm.
but
I'd
I mean-
have potentially just rallied it there because it's only 2 quads, and so it's not going to die.
yeah, I don't mind
Yeah.
just finishing the helix and just rallying it to the top left,
Yeah.
because I think you need any units you can at this point.
Mm-hmm.
If you lose your that supply, the game's gonna be really hard. Can't really win on equal supplies, I would say, with vanilla China against Tox.
No.
So again, these units should be a bit more grouped up. The Dragon Tank's going in alone.
I also think she's over Dragon Tanked here.
I have many
Because, okay, that first one could have ended the game, but from
Yep.
there, when you see all those quads, I think you need to get more gats out. And I think 2 more flamers were made. Ooh, this is a bit...
I'm also not, yeah, I was gonna say I'm not a big fan of that.
No.
I think you should just try to repair your helix at this point.
Yeah.
It is very hot in here.
Like, even flying here right now, I'm not sure. How does she have a read that, yeah, that Toxin has no quads there, exactly.
A Gatlix for 4 workers?